Wa níbikíbi tí a ti láǹfààní láti máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò wa late night broadcast. I say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on what part of the globe you're joining us from. It is the 23rd of January 2022. The time here on my clock, right from London, England, United Kingdom, where we are broadcasting from, 22:56 p.m. just for record purpose. My name is Koikimedia. Welcome to the program. Sunday Adeyemo is not a criminal. Chief Sunday Adeyemo kò kìí ṣe criminal, and it must be released from Benin Republic, where he's been held for the last 6 months, and we continue to demand his release, from Benin Republic, where he's been kept for 6 months. I say good evening to all our listeners from around the globe. We appreciate General Mayegun as he's almost completing that special interview with the coordinator of Ilana Omodua UK, Bashegun Alabi. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ Ìlànà UK, It's very, very easy. All you need to do is go to their website, www.ilanauk.org. This self-determination, it should not be just for one section, one people, not the media alone. It is a responsibility of every one of us to make sure that we all can make this a dream to ourselves and the next generation. Gbogbo wa ni ká darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn. Araba yìí kò gbọdọ̀ wó. Ẹyẹ tó má ṣe bọ́gì yẹn ò sí ní gbọ́mọ́. As we dey greet all our Biafra brothers and sisters, we dey greet all people wey dey for the northern part of Nigeria. We dey greet the people wey dey for middle belt. We no dey fight anybody, but what we dey say be say we no wan be part of Nigeria because Nigeria is not a country. It was put together in 1914 and we must unbundle it. I say good afternoon, good evening once again to all our team that are working behind the scene. I appreciate my family and every single one of you. Ní jókòó sí bíbáyìí ká bu ẹnu sí àwọn wòlíì Ọlọ́run àti àwọn àfáà àtàwọn babaláwo, àmọ́ a máa pe àwọn tó jẹ́ ká pè sórí ètò ká máa sọ fún wọn pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tá à ń fẹ́ yìí kò ń ṣe politics. Yoruba must stand on their own, and we have every right according to United Nations chapter, which I'm going to be looking at this night as well. But one thing is there anything going on in Nigeria that we don't know? I don't know. But one thing is, you cannot hide anything. If there's something the Nigerians need to know, please, the Minister for Information must come out and tell every Nigerian whenever and however they have to tell Nigerians. Òrìṣà tí ó ṣe bọ́pọ̀ ọmọdé mú ni ṣe bí ẹ ò ọmọ làgbẹ̀dẹ ẹ bá lè jẹ́ ẹ̀bọ̀nà jẹ́ Adéyẹmí ọmọ sọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan láì dáa. We're living in a society where you can no longer keep things for a very long time, and that is why a lot of Nigerians have not known about the 1914 amalgamation because it has literally been kept underneath. It should be a conversation in the primary school, in the secondary school, in the tertiary, in the higher institution, in the university, even when you go to work. Nigeria was amalgamated in 1914, and that is why we are called Nigerians. But today, millions of Nigerians do not even understand the reason why they are called Nigerians. Yoruba nation, you know, going back in it. I said no going back. It's a Yoruba nation. That is what we want. That is the conversation that has been on Mayegun General with the guest, Bashegun Alabi, that has been telling everybody everything you need to know regarding how to be part of this movement. It's a peaceful movement. It continues to be peace because that is part of what the United Nations says. But I'm sure ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yẹn á ní Koiki ọlọ́gbọ́n ọ̀rẹ́ tó ń sọ yẹn ṣé fún ọ̀nà ọmọ kò máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ jẹ́ ká sì máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́nà. Ẹ dàbí rẹ̀ ṣan òye kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Sunday Igboho bàbá wa ẹ̀gbọ́n wa bàbá wa ọ̀nkú wa akíkanjú adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn àtìyàwó for not seeing their father for the last 6 months. We are again demanding his unconditional release from Benin Republic so that he can continue his journey to meet up with his family. He is not a criminal. He hasn't committed any offense, and we are not sure why Benin Republic is still holding him inside their country 6 months after he was arrested because the Nigerian government of Buhari and Osibajo and all the cabinet and the minister decided that he is a criminal. He is not a criminal, and he has never committed any offense. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká rọrí. Tá a bá ronú nísìnyí, ìgbà wo la fẹ́ ronú? Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa béèrè ìbéèrè ní gbogbo ìgbà lóòrèkóòrè. It's because we refuse to ask questions while we were growing up. That is why we are all being trapped into a system that has failed millions and millions of people. What we are saying now is there something we don't know happening in Nigeria? We expect somebody to come out and tell Nigerians should in case something has gone wrong before it is too late. Bí nǹkan bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nigeria, it is the duty and the responsibility of a government that is working to tell the Nigerians whatever it is. A lot of Nigerians probably have been watching the football and they can know the scores because it is live there, people can see. But what about if some other things are happening in Nigeria and Nigerians are not aware? Ǹjẹ́ tí nǹkan bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nigeria, who should come out and tell Nigerians something is happening? Right here in UK, should there be any problem, the UK citizens will be alerted, will be told whether it's a good news or bad news, ugly news. We've had a lot of situations where the UK has told us as the citizen that they have to increase the security threat in this country because some people just don't want to live a civilized society because they want to live a different kind of life. And that life might have impact on the citizens here in the United Kingdom. We saw what happened as well in America some couple of days ago, where a British citizen flew from here to America in Texas, I believe, and decided to hold people on hostage in a synagogue, a religious center. So we have people like that all over the world. But the duty of the government of each of these countries is to come out and continue to make sure that everybody is aware of the situation whenever and however it is happening. The question we're asking tonight is there something happening in Nigeria today at this particular hour that Nigerians are not aware? Maybe somebody might have to tell Nigerians whatever it is. A lot of Nigerians have been glued on the football match between Nigeria and Tunisia. But unfortunately, Tunisia decided to beat Nigeria the way Yoruba people, the Biafrans, the Hausas, the Middle Belt, and those that wants to leave Nigeria would also have to leave Nigeria. And maybe the next tournament, we will be representing a country without representing under Nigeria. I say good morning once again to those of you that have joined us and welcome to the show. We've seen a lot of issues before in the past, and I'm going to go through with this article that I was able to pick up from our brother Omoyele Sowore. Is not a criminal. Mazin Amdekano is not a criminal. Chief Sunday Igboho is not a criminal, and likewise every single one of these people that are being held without their own consent. You can't kidnap somebody from Kenya rendition. It is not allowed under the international law. Once again, ìbéèrè tá à ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ìjọba Nàìjíríà ni pé ǹjẹ́ nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ò mọ̀ sí? Because we've seen issues like that in the past. It's not the first time. As I speak to you right now, according to Sahara Reporter, police confirmed gunmen killing of 4 miners in Plateau State is not in news anymore. People are being killed every day. There are so many things happening that the Nigerians, because of lack of information, they are in darkness. As I speak to you right now, it's 5 minutes past the midnight inside Nigeria, where millions of Nigerians have gone to bed, and some that are still awake are probably trying to get a good ventilation because there's no electricity to give them the power into the house. My name is Olami Koiki. I was reading an article about Abdusalam Abubakar. I'm sure a lot of you know him and remember him very well. There was something he said that I want us to look at. Gbogbo wa la mọ̀ ẹni tó ń pè ní Abdusalam Abubakar. He's been talking lately. Maybe he has a lot to say. He's been speaking lately, which is good because it gives a lot of us a better understanding of something that we don't know in the past, especially with a country like Nigeria. He was one time an head of state in Nigeria. He was born in June 13, 1942. He's from Minna. He was a Nigerian military leader who served as the head of state. But he's been saying few things lately, which I'm going to bring up to the screen in just about a few minutes. Abdul Salam Abubakar is well known in Nigeria. And you're probably in a different world entirely. You're not in this planet. He's been talking about someone that died lately, some few years back. Abdul Salam has been talking in the media about someone that everybody also knows was part of the evil genius known as Abacha. Abacha ruled, but he died at some point. So what is the conversation Kini Abdusalam Abubakar said about the late Sani Abacha when he died? Once again, a very good evening from this part of the globe. Kini Abdusalam sọ àti pé kí nìdí tó ṣe ń sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ is because he's the closest ally. I believe as at the time he was the defense minister when late Sani Abacha, an evil genius that decided to kill so many people, including the Ken Saro-Wiwa, an environmental activist. But like I said, our job is to make sure that same mistake must not repeat itself. Kí ni Abdulsalam Abubakar sọ? He has said a lot. But we're going to look at that together. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to put it together so that we can then read the article together. My relationship is the title with the late dictator Sani Abacha, the ex-head of state Abdul Salam is saying, is there something happening in Abuja? Is there something happening in Nigeria that a lot of Nigerians is not aware of? Or maybe Nigerians will be told as quickly as possible. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. The government says they were going to eradicate terrorists when they were coming in 2014. But what we can say is, down the line, 7 years down the line, the government is coming to an end in another less than 17 months. But we still see that the terrorists are still parading and killing as many Nigerians as we speak today. Once again, I say good evening and welcome to the program. It's the late night broadcast. Orúkọ tèmi á máa jẹ́ Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Koikimedia. Let's go through with this article. My relationship with late dictator Sani Abacha, ex-head of state Abdul Salam. Ǹjẹ́ kankan ṣẹlẹ̀ bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí tí wọ́n ń bò mọ́ ilẹ̀ fún ọmọ Nàìjíríà àbí in tí wọ́n sì ń rò tó máa sọ lé lórí? Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo wa. Oh, okay. I know why we are not on the Koikimedia. I was wondering, why am I not seeing myself? Now I understand. Oh boy, I hope it's not going to disorganize the whole system. Let's see. I just hope not. I just hope not. Oh, yes. It has already. Jeez. I should have started properly. All right. Okay, I think we're still on. All right, let's see what's going on. Am I still on? No. Okay, we're still on here. Okay. Shit. We're still on. All right, let's do something. Let's come out so that it doesn't mess up the brain of
We're
those
still
of you
on
watching.
here.
Because
Okay.
I'll be the only one to understand what is happening behind there.
Shit. We're still on.
Bear with me.
All right, let's do something.
We're trying
Let's
to rectify
come out,
the problem.
it doesn't.
One of our broadcasts hasn't started, so we're just trying to work on that. So bear with me. It will all be resolved. I just want to be sure that we're still on. We're still on. Okay, very good. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káalẹ́ níbikíbi tí ẹ ti láǹfààní àti máa gbọ́ mi. Èmi ọmọ yín náà ni àbúrò yín Koikimedia. Ẹ bá mi slow TV yẹn díẹ̀ jọ. Máyégún ti ṣetán. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì. Ẹni bá ti ṣèwọ̀n tó yẹ kó ṣe. Ọmọ Máyégún. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì. Òun wọn sílẹ̀ o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ń ṣe ibi pátápátá ẹ̀ ní nísinmi. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tẹ́ ń wò wá. I'm just trying to. There's a lot. Okay, I believe we're still live. Where are we on this? Okay, we're good on that. So we're waiting for the Koikimedia to start. Because some people don't know that we are live on Koikimedia for whatever reason. They just can't be bothered, especially that the YouTube is down. So that is the reason why I have to make sure that all the platforms are running tonight. But that's the only way we can get the message out to our listeners from around the globe. So, yep, Koikimedia is now on. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo wa, yep. Ẹ má bínú, there was a bit of some technical, but I believe I was able to resolve that. I hope so. All right, we're live now on Koikimedia. Because I was wondering why I'm not seeing myself. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káalẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Okay, I will edit that so that we are not. A very good evening once again. It's the late night broadcast, as usual. And the late night broadcast sometimes comes with anything inside it. But the question I'm asking tonight is, could there be something going on in Nigeria as I speak to you right now that we are not being told for whatever reason? All right, I think we're good now. Okay, I still got one of my, I'm still missing one of my phones because I need to monitor the comments. I'm sure a lot of you are like, okay, Koiki, what's going on in Abuja? Okay, or what's going on in Nigeria? Whatever is going on, Nigerians will be told by those that need to tell you. But I just want us to remember this particular story that I'm about to tell us now. It's not a story, it's an actual event that occurred during the late Sonny Abacha. Okay, now I can say myself, we're now good to go. Emma Bino Yawa, it is important that we start all the broadcasts simultaneously, but for whatever reason, I missed the Koikimedia, but we're back on. For those of you that have been wondering, where have we been on the YouTube? For the time being, our YouTube channel is down. I'm sure you know it's because YouTube decide to do whatever they have to do. So, but we can manage whatever we have. All right, let's go back. I believe we're fully into all the broadcasts. We're being watched on Instagram. We're live on Twitter. All the handles are Koikimedia. If it's different from what you can see, what you can authenticate, I do chat with people on our Facebook Messenger, but that is from the authentic pages, which is Koiki Odudua. Check the spelling, Do not mix the spelling. If you mix the spelling and somebody is transmitting it on their own platform and they call it Koiki Odudua plus another alphabet, you know they can do that. It can be seen Koiki, but what they've done is they've put double I and they put it like that. But because you don't look at it, you might, Koiki don't sort here, and you're watching it, you are not probably watching it from their own platform. I've said it so many times. I don't have problems when people use my videos. You can use it as many times as you want. It's good for me. It's good for this movement. I want people to hear about Yoruba nation, about self-determination. And that is why it's been going on very well. And like I said, could there be a problem in Nigeria that Nigerians are not aware? I want us to hold on to that. A lot of things are happening in Nigeria that they keep under the carpet. They keep it under. I mean, there are some things that the government might not want to tell you as a citizen, but there are also some things that the government is meant to tell you as a citizen as well. But this happened some years ago when Abdusalam Abubakar is now coming out to say, my relationship with Sani Abacha. And I want you to follow all the information and details. Some of you must have read it. I'm going to speak in English. I'm going to speak in Yoruba, in Pidgin. It's going to be mixed tonight because I want to carry as many people along in this particular broadcast. Some of you might be asking the same question. What is going on in Nigeria? What is going on in Kano? What is going on in Kaduna? There was a train accident in Kano. A couple of people died. This accident happened around the world as well. It's not new, but they put the safety system in place to make sure that people do not die. Somebody's asking if I've been inviting Ilanomo Odua. You probably have not been following us because the first person that brought them to the live broadcast was myself, and we'll be doing so on a frequent basis. So you have to go back and watch the interview I did with Bashegun Alabi before Mayegun. I've also invited them. So if you're just joining us, that means you've not been following this platform. Let's go into this conversation once again. My relationship with the late Sani Abacha, according to what we know. You see, these things is something that we don't know before, but Abacha is dead, Abdul Salam is still alive, and they're telling you things and things and things. Speaking in an interview, and I've got the full clip of that interview, but for so many reasons, they have a lot of adverts, and it might be so much headache. I don't know how to get them out. So I believe this is the source that Sahara Reporter also quoted so that nobody can say, where is that direct information? So that information came from here. So what Sahara Reporter has done is they've referenced it back to, that the information came from Daily Trust, which is what you're looking right here. But like I said, they have so many chunks of advert all over the place, and we might not be able to enjoy it from here. It was an interview that was done by Kabiru A. Yusuf. So if you look at it right there, General Abdusalam Abubakar is a distinguished elder statesman who was a military head of state from 1998 to 1999 when he handed over to civilian government. In this interview with the Trust TV, he went over the story of his life and some of the momentous episode of his long military career extract. I don't want to go into all those details because Sahara Reporter has been able to give it to what I want to tell you. But like I said, something might be going on in Nigeria. I don't know. Maybe they will come out and tell us. We just have to wait and see. But like I said, my job here is to ask questions because this is a society I live for the last 20 years, and we do ask questions. Nigerians might not ask questions because they are scared. So let's continue. According to this man, a former head of state, General Abdusalam Abubakar, retired, has said that he narrowly escaped attempt to retire him from the Nigerian army on many occasions before he eventually became head of state in 1998. Speaking in an interview with Daily Trust TV, the former head of state said, despite his relationship with the late head of state, General Sani Abacha, some members of the Abacha inner caucus wanted him retired from the military. just as all the military ex and current have been bulldozing Nigeria for a very long time. They've captured Nigerians' mind, and a lot of Nigerians do not ask questions. But tonight, I'm asking the question, is there something wrong back in Nigeria that Nigerians are not being told? Or is there something that Nigerians will be told? Time will tell, we will wait and see. Let's continue. According to the late or the current, he said, like I said, right from the day when Abacha, became head of state, there were people who were very uncomfortable with some of us and wanted to weed us out. But as luck we have it, he stuck to his gun. He refused to retire me and some other who went along with him. This is, General Abdusalam Abubakar speaking here. I know there was a lot of pressure, for example, for him to retire people like the late General Aladu, late General Duba, late General Husseini, all 419, that have kept Nigerians in dungeon for millions of years or thousands of years, days, and Nigerians are still asking for another 2023 election because they don't even understand if election will hold, according to Pastor G.O. Adeboye. And that is in the public domain. So you might say, Imbolo Tigboyen, he said, who told you there will be 2023? And remember, it's one of his vision. He says, to make omelette, you have to break the yolk. You have to crack the egg. If you don't crack it, you can't make omelette. Let's continue. So I think our relationship with General Abacha went back to our school days. When it continued, we found ourselves in the military, just as all the military boys. Babangida is in a wheelchair now. He killed Delegiwa. He's still moving around, dictating to Nigerians who will become their next president. 419, Maradona. And it continued when we found ourselves in the military and by coincidence during the Civil War where millions of the Igbo people were killed. We found ourselves fighting in the same brigade. I think he was commanding 95 Battalion. Then I was commanding 84 Battalion under 9 Brigade Commander by the late General Shehu Yaradua. So we're operating in the same theater during the war that has eventually led to millions of Nigerians now asking, do we still want to be part of this contraction called Nigeria because it's no longer working for millions of Nigerians and there's no point to continue with a union that is a forced marriage. So we're operating, actually this bonded our relationship. What happened when military and military work together? That's what happened, especially in their uniform, oppressing a lot of Nigerians. Okay, is it this one? How come I'm missing some part of it? 1 minute. This doesn't seem to look like the complete one I'm looking for. Okay, 1 minute. How late General Abacha was this called? This is the one I wanted to read up. Sorry. I don't know how come that one went. This is the one I'm looking for. It might be new. Anyway, still part of it anyway. Probably Sarah Reporter decided to break it up. How late dictator Sani Abacha was discovered dead. Ex-head of state Abdusalam opens up. Abdusalam noted that the former dictator died during the night, and then the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Komasi broke the news to him. A former head of state, we start from the beginning. A former head of state, Abdusalam Abubakar, has revealed what he knew about the death of the late dictator General Sani Abacha in 1998 and how the event of the time unfolded. And we saw how the late Musa Yaradua was also dead in Germany, and they were keeping it, and a lot of Nigerians don't ask questions, they just leave it like everything is normal. Nobody asks questions in that country. As long as they're waking up, they're going to their work, they can't even understand why they're in poverty and all those kind of things that is happening. But we now know how, according to this man, the late Sonny Abacha died, at what time he died, or what happened, the sequence of events that happened. But the question I'm asking again tonight is there something happening in Nigeria that a lot of Nigerians are not aware of, or are we going to get that news when the time comes? It's just a matter of time. In an interview with the Daily Trust, which I said I've got right here, but I'm going to use the Sarah Reporter because that one is much more straightforward. Abdul Salam noted that the former dictator himself is a dictator. They're all dictator. What they've done is they've used the military to coerce, cage millions of Nigerians, and that is why we can see how they've been able to cage Omoyele Sowore, an innocent man, right in Abuja for the last 2 years. They were able to kidnap, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. They were able to almost kill Chief Sunday Igboho on the 1st of July. If not, he was able to escape for his life. But according to these, the reason why I'm bringing this up, you might be asking, Koiki, what has this got to do with, what is happening in Nigeria that we don't know? It's almost the same thing, because when this happened then in 1998, nobody knew because everybody was just sleeping. And then you're waking up, you're going all over the place until they wake up the next day and they tell you this man is the head of state. The same way they never told you anything about, the late Yaradua after he was brain dead somewhere in Germany. They couldn't wake him up. Even Obasanjo sometimes say, Umaru, she was alive. Nigerians don't like asking questions. And that is what brought us to where we are. Nobody's asking, why were we put together in 1914? Kini dear. What was the purpose? What was the mission? Is this something that we can review and say we don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore? Nobody is asking those questions. And at the end of the day, we are now suffering for it because every one of us refused to ask the question. Let's continue with what Abdul Salam Abubakar has to tell us. Another 419 man. Abdul Salam said a lot happened the day General Sani Abacha passed away. He died, I think, the day he was to travel to Togo for, I think, the ECOWAS or AU summit. Hear this now. Now I got a call from the villa that the General Abacha wanted to see me. I want you all to follow this conversation. Some of you must have read it. Some of you must not have read it because you're not interested. But it is my duty to bring this up because when Abacha died, millions of Nigerians were not told in time. When late Yaradua was brain dead, nobody said anything. The question tonight is something happening in Nigeria that Nigerians are not being told, or we are just waiting? Probably maybe somebody will say something and then Nigerians will know what is happening. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But my job is just to bring your mind back to some of the events that have happened in the past that Nigerians never query. But now we have opportunity that this man is alive to tell us. Because if he was not alive and it was, this information was coming out, people would have been like, but he's the one telling us what happened in 1998 when that evil man called Abacha that suppressed millions of Nigerians just as the others killed Ken Saro-Wiwa, as Babangida killed the 1993 Hope, and also killed Dele Giwa, and so many people were eliminated during this coup and all these shenanigans that was happening in Nigeria. But Nigerians are still scared because of some of the consequence of the psychological effect of what has happened during the era of the military. So somebody will say, I'm going to Nigeria, I'm going to delete your number because I don't want to get involved. As you're joining the program. Now I got a call from the villa, according to General Abdul Salam, former anyway, or 419. He's preaching all over Nigeria now, asking for peace. What peace? He was the one that brought out that 1999 constitution that is having effect on your lives as Nigerians today. Idiot. I'm a true Nigerian. And the 1999 constitution, nobody voted for it, nobody signed for it. A document that even Obasanjo himself did not see while he was becoming a president in 1999. And we have a lot of technocrats, elite, PhD holder, idiot people all over the place talking about one Nigeria. What's stupid in one Nigeria? Let's continue. Now I got a call from the villa that the General Abacha wanted to see me. As at this time, Abacha is dead though. But somebody called this man and said Abacha that was dead. Egbomidada, Abacha, as at the time he was receiving this call, Abacha is gone. Long as his spirit was already traveling away from that part of the continent, and we hope he's somewhere where his evil spirit will continue to haunt him and those that were with him. So immediately, what came to my mind, I said, I hope he had not changed his mind about going to this Togo and was going to send me, because at that time when he passed away, already I was the de facto number 2 man, because at that time General Dia and others were having problem on this alleged coup. I've told you so many times. Go and look at what is happening in Burkina Faso as I speak to you. It's unstable tonight. We believe there might be a kind of a coup. A coup might also come up in Nigeria. We must all be prepared for the uncertainty. There's so many things in Nigeria as we speak right now. It's just uncertainty. But the question tonight is there something we don't know happening in Nigeria? There's a lot of things happening. Is terrorist attack happening? There's a lot of things happening. But is there something that Nigerians need to know that is still being kept away from Nigerians? I will have to wait and see if Lai Mohammed will come out and say to Nigerians, or we'll probably say, we'll wait and see. So I suspected that the general is talking about, the late evil Abacha had changed his mind and he was going to send me, because in a lot of times I am called upon to go and represent the head of state. So I took my time. When I went to the bathroom and I told my wife, look, I think I might be going to this AU summit. So help me prepare my bag before I finish. Then there was another call. Remember, it's not Abacha that we call him. It has to be somebody that we call him. As at that time, Abacha was dead. This man was not even aware. So I want you to follow this conversation. So that we can ask questions as, whether we want to leave that country or not. We still want to know whatever is happening, especially for our people that are on the ground right there. Some of them are sleeping now. They don't even understand what is going on. They don't know why they don't have light. They don't know why the economy is bad. They don't know why, and they will tell you one Nigeria. Tomorrow now they'll put on APC, PDP. They'll be dancing around like yo-yo in the night. Those people that dance all over the place. APC. They go back home. There's no light to idiots. They will be crying and be shouting APC, APC, PDP. They will go back home. There's no light. They sleep in darkness. Yes, in the morning. Then there was another call. Look, the president is waiting. The president that is dead. I'm talking about in 1998 when Abacha was dead, but they were fooling him. But they're all the same anyway. The president is waiting for you. I said, okay, I am coming. So I casually put on my tracksuit. Remember, he was in the bathroom. He received the first call. He went into the bathroom. Another call came in. So I casually put on my tracksuit since there was no time to dress in uniform, and so on, since there was an agitation that I was wanted immediately, just as we are agitating as well. Immediately, we want to be out of this contraction called location 419. So I came with my tracksuit. I think I was even wearing a slippers. When I entered, they said, General is in the office. So naturally, nígbà tó bá ń wá tẹ́lẹ̀, he would just walk into the office. When I come to the office, no matter who was in the general office, I normally just go in and meet him. And maybe he will say, okay, wait, let me finish with this gentleman, or he will ask the fellow to give us a chance. But this time around, he was not told that. He was told to sit somewhere. Continue, let's watch and listen to this. Sorry. Nígbà tí Abacha kú, òun ó pe òun, wọn ní Abacha ń dúró dè. But in tí wọ́n sọ fún ni pé Abacha ti kú. This was 1998. Ó narrate tó ṣẹlẹ̀. We've seen the same thing when the Yaradua brain dead already. They didn't tell Nigerians he was dead. The question we're asking again tonight is something going on in Nigeria that Nigerians need to know? It's just a question. I don't know. I'm just putting out a question. To my surprise, ẹ máa gbọ́, When I came, I was climbing the steps. Somebody said, no. He said, you have to wait in the waiting room. This has never happened before to him. To my surprise, I was in the waiting room for over 30 to 40 minutes. Just the same way I'm asking the question, what is going on in Nigeria? Is there something Nigerians need to know? Or is there something that we don't need to know? It's a question. Then I kept wondering, what was happening? Anytime I wanted to go up, they said no. The general said I should wait. Èmi ti yẹ pé tí bá dé tẹ́lẹ̀ mo kàn máa ń wọnú ilé lọ bá wọn ẹ mọ gbogbo ó dàbẹ̀ tí ó máa ń wọlé lọ báyàn tẹ́lẹ̀ kọ́ wá sọ fún mi pé ọmọ jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn mẹ́ kọ́ wá máa wá èmi kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ náà. Anyway, you will know what happened. After 40 minutes waiting, then the late Ibrahim Kumasi, who was the Inspector General of Police as at that time, came to where I was sitting. Ó pè mọ́ra, ó ní, come. Instead of going up to the office, we followed out and he said, no, we are going to the house. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Abacha pè mí ni? Kí ló tún wá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ now? It was in that process he told me, look, unfortunately, General Abacha has passed on in the night. So that was how we went to the villa where General Abacha was living. And as we entered, they showed me on the right where his corpse was. So I entered and I prayed for his soul. So yẹn ò ní gbádùn níbikíbi tó bá wà. I hope you understand what I'm trying to bring out from here. I'm going to leave it now like that. I'm going to come back to my full screen. Nigerians, the question again tonight is, if things goes wrong in Nigeria, whatever it is, terrorist attack is frequent. There's no doubt about that. People know that on a daily basis. What about if some other things happen? When is the right time for you to know? Who tells you whatever is happening inside what we call that contraction, Nigeria, on that capital where it is in Abuja? It's a question I'm asking. It's just a question. Who's going to tell you that something has happened or something hasn't happened? It's two ways. Ó ṣẹlẹ̀, kò ṣẹlẹ̀. Ta ló máa sọ? Nígbà wo ló máa sọ? Nígbà wo ni wọ́n ní sọ? I don't want to be the only one to do this tonight. As you always know, we open the phone line and let's start taking your own view on this conversation. 2 times, Nigerians were kept in darkness. The crawler, Yaradua, was gone. It took people like Sahara Reporter to be able to come out and say something is gone wrong. But Nigerians were never convinced. You don't start again. That's fine. But it is our job, just as we continue to ask, why has the killer of Billy Giwa not been punished? Till we speak, Funshaw Williams was killed. As we speak, the killers are still moving around with impunity. Bola Ige, the killers are still moving around with impunity. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, the killers are still moving around with impunity. Tolulope Arotile, the killers are still moving around with impunity. Chofeda Setoni. So, +4475 94050 979. That is the number, and let's get your views. It's a late night broadcast, and this is how we do it. Yoruba nation is not negotiable, and we must continue to demand the immediate release on condition. He hasn't done anything of late of Chief Sunday Adeyemo. He hasn't committed any crime. His crime is because he's just demanding the right of his people. And they've kept him in Benin Republic without any charges. It's okay, Black Ebony, that's fine. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ jíire níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti láǹfààní tẹ́ ti ń gbọ́ wa, tẹ́ ti ń wò wá. Yoruba nation is not going back. No retreat, no surrender. You can be part of the Ilana UK. I'm sure you know that now. All you need to do is go on their website, register. We need as many people on board. Thank you very much, my back end team. They've put the number out. And if you're wondering what is the number, it says the studio number. That is the number that will bring you right into the broadcast. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa tẹ́ ti ń wò wá. Igboho kept for committing no offense in 21st century. I'm going to take us through what I said I was going to discuss when I come online using the software. Let's continue with this. Show you a look. Yoruba ìrònú kẹ́lọ́ fi mọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Ọ̀sán ló pọ̀ sàn yìí wá ká. Kó máa gbúdọ̀ wò. Ọmọ ní ègbúdọ̀ wọ láwùjọ.
Nigeria is a very ìdí táwọn àgbààgbà ìtàn kò fi lè sòdodo. Ó ti sọ́wọ́ àjẹkẹ́ wá jọba.
Ìgbòho ń ṣe oṣù mẹ́fà, ó ti kọjá díẹ̀. Gbogbo wọn dákẹ́. Wọ́n ṣe bí n táwọn gbọ́. Wọ́n ṣe bí n táwọn mọ̀ pé wà níbẹ̀. Ó dá. Ok. Wọ́n tún wá ń sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ jó ilé ẹ̀ ní sọ́kà. Ẹ dẹ̀ rò pé tó bá lọ jó ilé ẹ̀, ẹ bá lọ jó ilé ẹ̀, àwa tún máa wòran lẹ́yìn ìgbà tẹ́ ṣe gbogbo jàǹbá tẹ́ ṣe. Èmi ò ní ní kẹ́ má lọ jó, àmọ́ ẹ má gbìyànjú pé fẹ́ lọ ṣe nítorí pé á dá sòrútù sílẹ̀. Mo ní sọ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Ìrọ̀láwọ̀ àgbààgbà ìgbè dánijọ́ kiri. Ó máa ṣe òye, ó máa gbúdọ̀ wò. Ọmọ ní ègbúdọ̀ wọ láwùjọ. Ọba mẹ́wàá ìgbà mẹ́wàá yóò máa lòlẹ̀ ayé gbó. Lọ́ba lọ́ba lóye lóye Yorùbá. Mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ̀ ṣayé yìí rè. Kò bàjẹ́ láyé Olúgbọ́n, kò má bàjẹ́ láyé Àrẹ̀sà o. Kò má sórí tí yín bàjẹ́ òye. Abẹ́ òrí, àrùgbó yóò.
lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ kú ìjókòó. I say good evening to those of you that are still sitting down, and let us continue from where we are with this broadcast tonight. I pick up the news on the Twitter feed. It's already out in the domain, I think about February last year, but it was retweeted on the, and if you're not aware, you can follow us on Twitter, Koikimedia. You can follow Ilano UK. It's very, very important that we follow all these platforms so that we can be able to be up to date with whatever is happening, especially in that contraction you call Nigeria. So the Twitter feed of Ilano UK, we need as many people to be members. It is called at UK_Ilano. It is the authentic one. It is the one that is approved by Professor Banji Akintoye to represent all the Yorubas here in the United Kingdom. Even if Tebatu Aninu Egbe Kontele, this is the one that Professor Banji Akintoye is working with right here in the United Kingdom. They have another chapter in America and likewise in Canada, and their own way of fighting for this self-determination is to take the 1914 amalgamation to the British High Court here in the United Kingdom. You might say, is that going to make any difference? I see you there, my brother Eitan Tosi. Welcome on board. All hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa, all hail the Middle Belt, the Ijaw people. Even if some people don't want to go with the Biafra, let them go on their own. If they don't want to go with Yoruba people, let them stay on their own. Some countries are not even up to 1 million and they're living a better life than the contraction you call Nigeria. So you can follow Ilano. Also, you can follow them to do all the membership. There's no point if you're saying, I love Yoruba Nation now, and you're not even in any organization. I want to in the UK, Lambasoro. Those of you that are living in United Kingdom, you can be part of them by going to their website straight away, become a member. I think it's about £5 a month. That's less than, a McDonald's or Burger King. So all you need to do, go on the website, www.ilanouk.org. And right there, you fill all the application fee. It's a £5 monthly. And if we're going to contest the 1914 amalgamation that kept us in this bondage, it's going to cost a lot of money at the British High Court. It's not going to be free. And we can't go and get money from all the politicians. So it is our responsibility and our duty to make sure that we continue to support this platform. I picked up this, like I said, sustainable and peaceful society. Nigeria has never been a sustainable and peaceful society. According to the former American ambassador, we talked about this yesterday. He asked America to declare Nigeria as a failed state. But I'm still asking the question tonight. Is there something that has happened in Nigeria that Nigerians are not aware? Or somebody will tell Nigerians at the appropriate time? Or maybe nothing has happened. We just have to wait and see and hear from them. But I've given you the instance of how Abacha died and everything was shielded within the internal caucus. And by the time people were waking up, Abdulsalam Abubakar was already the head of state. We don't want to be part of Nigeria, but we still need to be asking the question. So let's come here. According to the UNPO, Unrepresented People Organization, according to the article, which you can also read should you have the time. It's quite a long one, but I'll try to read it as quickly as possible. And then I have this video ready for us. People say Nigerians are not hearing what we are saying. I said, that's fine. But this video indicates that everything Koikimedia and the other media have been talking about is exactly what this man has said. He has spoken his mind, and I believe millions of Nigerians are on that same page. Time for referendum, break up Nigeria, put Nigeria on that time for referendum. Somebody did also ask me that we must continue to tell people the meaning and what referendum means. What is referendum? This is a pronunciation.
Referendum.
Kini koto mean? I'm going to do a full program on this. where everything will focus on kí ló ń pè ní referendum. Referendum is different from the kind of vote that they're talking about that has been fraudulent since 1999 under that constitution that this 419 man, Abdulsalam Abubakar, put together a decree for. No Nigerians signed for that 1999 constitution, but some stupid Nigerians now are moving around thinking that their PVC will solve the problem. Hey, go and get your PVC. Go and get your PVC. We're gonna deal with them. You can't deal with them. These are animals. Your PVC is not gonna deal with them. When Abacha died, everything was in darkness until you wake up the next day and that man was already the head of state. When Shehu Yaradua died, brain dead in Germany, nobody knew. The question again tonight is something wrong in Nigeria tonight that we don't know? Or is there anything that Nigerians need to know? You think your PVC will solve problem in Nigeria? Idiot. Your PVC is just a useless document that cannot help you and solve any problem. Nigerians has to wake up and start asking the question about the 1914 amalgamation and the dissolution of Nigeria as quickly as possible. So let's come back here. The UNPO, and this is exactly representing those of the indigenous people, be it the Biafrans, be it the Oduduwas, be it the Middle Belt, be it the Hausa or the Arewa that wants to leave Nigeria but have been suppressed, oppressed by the state. What is the state? Anytime I say state, you just translate that to Nigeria. The UNPO has observed that the state, which is Nigeria, actors are increasingly, and this happens to not just Nigeria, but I'm going to be using Nigeria because we are demanding for self-determination that is allowed. So I'm using this article as to what is happening in Nigeria, thinking that they can continue to suppress Nigerians. That is not going to happen because the international community are also watching. The UNPO has observed that the state actors, Nigerian government, are increasingly resorting to concept of national unity to justify repressive actions against the minority and the indigenous populations like the Yorubas, the Igbo, and the rest of those, and the self-determination movement. This includes reference to constitutional provisions which place national unity on equal or greater footing to human rights. No Nigerians have human rights as I speak to you today. You only need to go on Google and type Nigeria human rights. You will read a lot about the injustice, just as they've done to the 12 people, just as they've done to Omoyele Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody knows where Daddy Yatta is. I believe another journalist has been kidnapped from Nigeria, according to the news coming out from Sahara Reporter, almost, well, we still have a few minutes before midnight. But also by other states in their justification for not taking strong action against that repression. The UNPO calls on all states like Nigeria, thinking that they have power. Hey, I keep telling you, the international community will respond. When the time comes. The reason why the international community is not really getting involved is they still believe that there's calmness in Nigeria, so it doesn't have any reason for them to intervene yet. But when it becomes ungovernable for you all in Nigeria, they will come out. This is part of what you should understand, and that is why I'm going to be reading the whole of this article, and I'll be doing some analysis as I read along. So you have to be very patient. The UNPO calls on Nigeria to fully respect in both their national and foreign affairs the right of the equal self-determination of the people like the Yoruba, the Biafra, and whoever wants to leave Nigeria, because it's not a must to be part of Nigeria. And the responsibility of all states, each time I mention state, I'm putting it as Nigeria, to promote inclusion and respect diversity. Fulani has actually not respect our inclusion. And that is what a lot of Nigerians do not understand. I'm a true Nigerian idiot. You think Nigeria will care for you? So many people come on social media looking for 10 million, 3 million for kidney problem. And they're spending the money that is meant for you all over the place. The debt continue, but some of you don't even understand why you are poor. Idiot. Over the 30 years of the UNPO history, we have observed that the true peace and stability can only be achieved through inclusive society that respect ethnic and religious diversity and equal right to self-determination of the people. Ṣé Nigeria fún yín ní that equal right? Idiot. I'm a true Nigerian. You think Nigeria cares about you, doesn't give you the equal right, disrespect you, dehumanize you, kill you economic-wise, security zero, education zero, welfare zero. Nothing is literally working for the bloody 61 years of putting together in a country that refused to work for all those that call themselves, I'm a true Nigerian. Idiot. Let's continue. The member states of the United Nations have recognized these and have each committed to promoting inclusion and diversity through international human rights treaties and the UN Sustainable Development Goals, commitment which they are working to achieve by 2030. Remember that video of that young girl? They didn't know that 2020 was coming. They were talking about 2020 vision. 2020 don't pass. They're probably talking about 2030 now. Shege Banzani. Sadly, today, it has become increasingly mainstream for government like Nigeria to justify repression, forced assimilation, other violations of basic human rights. Do you understand what your basic human right is? You cannot even have a basic toilet. Láti lọ yàgbẹ́ ọdẹ. Òṣì yàgbẹ́ sínú igbó. Omi ò wọnú yàrá ẹ̀ ní kí Yorùbá wá ṣe ọdẹ. On the basis of false notions of national unity, there's never been a unity among every one of us. Let everybody stay on their own. That's the only way out. Let's continue. This practice are at the heart of the campaign by the Communist Party of China that suppressed and forcibly assimilated the Uyghur, the Southern Mongolian, and also the Tibetan people, and it is belligerent towards Taiwan. Just as also we are facing, you say they don't put Nigeria there yet, but when things get more heat up, Nigerian one will be there, they will update it. But I'm going to be adding Nigeria as we go along in this conversation. Calls for national unity over human rights are heard whenever the Islamic Republic of Iran decided to systematically target the minorities living in Iran, such as the Kurdish. We've seen them so many times in London in 1986, somewhere around there. So many Kurdish were killed by the Iranian government. They're all the same. Blood-sucking government all over the world. And just the same thing, I'm going to add Nigeria to that, so at least you have an idea. Don't have to mention the remaining. Let's come back here. And this practice are not limited to the world's most repressive regimes like the Nigerian government. Over the past few years, false notions of national unity, for example, being used by the government of Spain as justification for its campaign against the self-determination effort of those people that are known as the Catalonian, and the court in France as a means to justify the deregistrations of the NGOs working for the right of the people. Just the same thing that the Nigerian government is doing. Deregistered everybody and then say, we're going to deregister Omoyede Sowore. Idiot. Government. The question tonight is, has something gone wrong in Nigeria? Has something happened in Abuja that Nigerians need to know? And we expect somebody to come out and tell them whatever it is. We have also witnessed liberal democratic states tying themselves in the knot, trying to recognize the scale of repression of minorities and the indigenous community. Do you understand that we have been repressed so much? Suppressed. Too often, this justification fall prey to repeating the national unity justification made by those repressive states of undermining the power and the universality of the international human rights treaties by falsely claiming that repression is justified by cultural differences. We are not Hausa, we are not Fulani, we are not Igbo. We want to stand on our own as the Yoruba people and as our culture, our ethnicity, our language. That is what we are trying to preserve. And some idiot is coming. I'm a true Nigerian. What language is Nigeria? A day. If you know the meaning of Nigeria, you are actually keeping the vision of Lord Lugard. That's what you're doing. So I'm going to put it there for now. But let's come here. And then you hear the same thing Koiki has been talking about. I do not own the copyright of these. It belongs to Root. But we appreciate them for going on the street where they can speak directly to people that have the same voice like us. Let's hear this together.
To this country is referendum. They should not deceive themselves. Nigeria is a dead country. It's a failed nation, whether they like it or not. If they don't do it in time and they allow Nigeria to restructure itself, they won't like it. All these people that they thought that they are in secure place today, all of them, they will look for a way to run away from this country that won't be way for them. Go to Lagos now. Go even in this Abuja. Who can walk freely now? How many people can walk freely in federal capital? NSAS. That's a warning. The next one.
As I'm still playing this, I'm watching another one on Instagram. I hope I'll play that, because a lot of Nigerians will be pushed out, whether they like it or not. Next month, the petrol price goes up to 302 naira per liter. Some say, why do I say waiting concern me? Well, waiting concern me when I've been telling you that the country is not working. You're all laughing. So when the petrol goes up, come and tell me to come and help you back home. It might just break fast. Last. Let's continue with the video. Once again, a very good evening. Welcome to those of you that have joined us as we continue to appreciate those of you that are still with us on the late night broadcast. It's just coming up to exactly 3 minutes past midnight here from London, England, precisely where I am transmitting this broadcast from. My name is Olami Koiki. It's Koikimedia, 24th of January 2022, as we've just passed midnight here in London.
Hey, even UN that closing their ear and eyes now, they will come, they will call, nobody will listen to them. Nothing like 2023 election. It's a voodoo. All things that can make Nigeria to be peaceful before 2023, let Buhari write his name with golden pen. If it's truly meant for Nigeria, let them call for consult conference or referendum. Let people speak their mind out, not the election. Who want to be election? Is it somebody who want to contest? Tinubu, road, some robber, killer.
These are the average Nigerians on the street of Nigeria. So when we say things are going to go from worse to worse, it's never going to get better. You can hear from this man. You can see the anger. By the time you ask how old this man, he might be the same age with me, but he's looking like a 70-year-old man already. Because the stress of surviving in that contraction you call Nigeria is already having a big impact on him. My name is Olami Koiki. Let's continue with the broadcast.
I want to rule this country. I'm a Yoruba man, but I can never support when it comes to the issue of Nigeria. Somebody like Tinubu is not worth to become a councillor again, not talk of president.
You hear that? Somebody like Tinubu is not even worth to become a councillor because we have some idiot. Àwọn tó wà nílé, àwọn tó wà ní làákàyè, àwọn tó wà ní foresight. Yorùbá ló kàn o, Yorùbá ló kàn, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe o, Yorùbá ló kàn o. On what basis? On what foundation? On the same fraudulent amalgamation, on the same fraudulent 1999 constitution that even Pastor Paul Adefarasi says, you must prepare for your escape route. Escape route. Some of these audience were just laughing. I'm sure he's preparing his escape route already because he will be speaking to them from another country when things go the other way around.
Who are those people? Is Buhari going to support Tinubu or who is the candidate that we have now? And then if anybody comes without referendum, there can never be peace in this country because
did you hear that? If they don't come with referendum, there will never be peace. These are the words of people in Nigeria. And this is just the beginning because Nigerians are now waking up and asking questions. The question you don't want us to ask. People are now asking questions. Why is this? Why is London like that? Why are we not like that? Why must they bring crude oil back to UK and refine it and bring it back? Why are they giving oil block to Alakija and then he has a lot of money? Then she will go to Surulere and be preaching about the word of God. What word of God is she talking about? Nonsense. And these are the questions a lot of Nigerians are asking. A very good morning all the way from Idiroko.
Any country that is injustice, there can never be peace.
You hear that again? The word injustice is exactly part of what we were reading earlier on, Lori United UNPO. What is injustice? Injustice is even when something has gone wrong in Nigeria right now and nobody is saying anything, they keep quiet as if everything is normal. The question is there something wrong in Nigeria tonight or the early hours of this morning? If there's nothing wrong, they must come out and tell Nigerians. And if there's something wrong, the same thing, Nigerians must be told.
Let all the pastor, Adeboye, Kumuyi, all of them pray. Let all the imam come together. There can never be peace in this country.
Did you hear that? Ó kó gbogbo wọn papọ̀. Ó ní kí wọ́n kó gbogbo pastor, kó kó gbogbo imam. There can never be peace in Nigeria because we are not one. We are about 250 ethnic groups put together in 1914 for the benefit of those that wanted to suck the blood of Nigerians. And that's why we are all over the world. Malaysia, Thailand, Greece, UAE, Belgium, Jamaica, Cuba. Nigerians are all over the world trying to survive. Because there's no home. I still pity those that are building places and thinking there's a home to go to. There's no home to go to. You got to be careful whenever you're going to Nigeria so that you don't be a victim of kidnapper.
As there is injustice. That's a true fact. God is not, we cannot continue to fool God.
Did you hear that? I think that's the end of it. You cannot continue to fool God. You can fool yourself. You cannot fool God. Idiot. You think God is stupid like us. You think God doesn't know that there's injustice happening in Nigeria and so many Nigerians are then asking the question, but you want to keep the vision of this man, Lugard. For every time you say one Nigeria, you're keeping the vision. He's dead long time ago. Even his great-grandchildren have nothing. From tomorrow, or rather today, because today is 24, there will be a special prayer, fasting and prayer for our father, Babawa Olulufewa, the man that decided that it is time that we must all wake up and leave this contraction. I'm talking about no one else but Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igbowosha. 3 days fasting and prayer goes again from, I believe, 12 midnight, which we're already in. And let me see if that link is already working. Maybe we might just tap the signal from there. Let me just see it from my end here. Let me try and log in. I guess that is already, I believe the Zoom should be open. So let's see. Let me just join and see. Once again, Moki Bugua T Etidara Pomowa. My name is Olami Koiki. It's Koikimedia. Bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Okay, why is it saying invalid link? 706 500 2053. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't think nobody's in yet. It looks like it's myself inside alone. But anyway, we expect maybe these will be people will join as time goes. So I'm going to leave it like that. So if I pick up any information as people are joining, but let us remember that Chief Sunday Igboho is fighting for us. Chief Sunday Igboho should be released. He hasn't committed any crime. He's not a criminal. Let's come back to the conversation again. Referendum is what we want.
Referendum.
A general vote, which is different from your fraudulent election. This one is a general vote by electorate. So, Nigeria, yes or no? Simple question. Do you want to be part of Nigeria? Yes. I don't want to be part of Nigeria. No. Do you want to be in Nigeria? Yes. I don't want to be part of Nigeria. No. Yes or no. That's what they call ó yàtọ̀
Referendum.
sí election kabukabu tẹ̀ ń ṣe, election àmàlà politics tẹ̀ ń ṣe, completely different. I'll join the meeting again, maybe before we leave the broadcast. Let's come back and ask the question: has something gone wrong in Nigeria this morning?
Èkúsíkiri, ọlọ́pọ̀ lè lóko nílẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́. Kíjokíjo lọ́dọ̀ ló wọ̀n yìí wá ń sáré kiri. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká relé. Bájọ́ bájúmọ́ á ń padà sílé bàbá ẹ̀ nìyí.
Wọ́n fi gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí
Ṣebí ewúrẹ́ yẹn ò ló ṣọmọ yá àgùntàn. Àgùntàn ló ní màmá mi ò bí dúdú òye. Ṣebí látọdún tó ti wà nínú Nàìjíríà yìí. Ìdẹ̀ra là ń fojoojúmọ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n òmìnira náà fojoojúmọ́ fún wa mú. Àsìkò ti tó, ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́. Ó ṣe, àsìkò ti tó, ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́.
Òmìnira la fẹ́, à ń padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín ìyá wa Janet. Á kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń lo ohùn tí ẹ fi ń bá wa ṣe oríṣiríṣi tí à ń gbọ́. Let's hear this from this man.
Win the game. You see what you they complain for this Nigeria. Bandits will disturb you. Terrorists will disturb you. Super Eagles will give you heart attack. The only thing that is giving us joy. My question is, why did this guy call them? In fact, who picked the call? Who picked the call? Who picked that call? Who picked that call? Oh, if I form. To never finish, then we win the game. You see what you they complain for this Nigeria. Bandits will disturb you. Terrorists will disturb you. Super Eagles will give you heart attack. The only thing that is giving us joy. My question is, why did this guy call them? In fact, who picked the call? Who picked the call? Who picked that call? Who picked that call?
Let's come back to the conversation. I'm just putting that in so that we can understand that there's a lot that Nigerians need to know. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ ìlànà UK, it is very, very easy. www.ilanauk.org. And right there, you can find all the information. You can find their contact details. If you go towards the end of their page, they have a number there, plus 44 75 96 69 26 91, plus 44 75 96 69 26 91. Ilana Omo Odua UK at outlook.com. Follow them on Twitter. We all can do this by making sure that we continue to push in every way. We've talked about the two ways, the diplomatic way or the other way around. And if you look at, if you watch the broadcast we did this morning towards the lunchtime, there's a lot of analysis and the views of so many people. So let us remember that. One thing again is follow them on Twitter. Let us make sure we follow them as, look, I mean, they have about 120 followers. It's not a very good sign. Also, next week on the 26th, Chief Sunday Igboho, they're going to be having a peaceful protest in Paris. Those of you in France, please participate and be part of it as well. We must all get involved in this movement. That is the only way. My YouTube is currently down at the moment. It's not going to be back till about sometime end of next week. So you can only catch me on all the social media network. Follow us on Koikimedia on Twitter, Instagram. We do quite a lot of posting where you can also be able to know what is happening. But if you don't follow us, then you will not know what is happening. We are live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook, Koiki Odudua page, and Koiki Odudua on its own, and then Koikimedia. These are all the channels onto the YouTube is back. We're also live on Twitter. Let's come here and see. So if you come down right there, you will notice that we're live as well on Twitter. I haven't pushed it out there, but I'll do so in just about a few minutes. There's quite a lot happening, on a daily basis that we don't tweet. Tell about a lot of Twitter. Then these things don't travel very fast. The guest on Mayegun General tonight was this our very powerful coordinator of Ilana UK. You had him there on Mayegun General. We had him as well a couple of weeks back. Also, our mother, the wife of late Chief MQ Abiola, will be live with our brother Ijile Marcos sometime next week. Let us also participate to make sure we listen to her. She's been a very strong voice in this movement as well by coming out at the right time when we needed her as well. So the question again, we need to continue to ask question. Whatever it is, let us ask question so that we can be able to get out of this mess as quickly as possible. So, like I said, Ijile Marcos next week. Say no to a unity by force. We don't want to be the Nigerians. It's as simple as that. We're better off as an independent country of our own. So next week on the 28th of January at about 8 p.m. Oduduwa land, 7 p.m. UK time, work that time within your own country. You can join again, Ijile Marcos, the host, having Mrs. Onitiri, the wife of the late Chief MKO Abiola. So let us continue to make sure that the Yoruba Nation movement is something that we focus on, regardless of whoever that wants to divert us away, especially now that the election is around the corner. Nigerians are much more convinced that 2023 will solve the problem. 2023 will solve problem to one delay. 2023 has a lot of mixed bag. Mixed bag. Even the Afenifere said they've won advice. Tinubu, he doesn't want to listen. Oh no, man, not Tony. MQ Abiola spent more than that. MQ Abiola had the network, but unfortunately, MQ Abiola is no longer with us. He has his own, side, but he was not allowed to become the president that a lot of Nigerians wanted him to be. So, it's got nothing to do with hatred of not having a Yoruba person there. The question is, what is the essence of keeping the vision of Lugard? It's just a question. So, Teban Sokwe, if you keep one Nigeria, what you are doing is you are still keeping the vision of the 1914 amalgamation. So, for the time being, why do we want to keep, amalgamation that was put together, and the reason why we're suffering today all over the world? Nigerians are moving from point A to B when we should be in our own indigenous land, making life better for ourselves, promoting our culture, who we are. But people are ready to allow that to be sold for peanut, to those that believe that, this Amala politics and, Kabu Kabu politics that they are playing, a politics that they're killing each other, a politics that, they're using voodoo to kill each other, a politics that they don't want anybody to be the chairman. You have to go and consult, somebody, a politics that is not being played according to how politics is played in the global community. So the problem is a lot of Nigerians are thinking that, we hate, the APC, we are being sponsored by PDP and all this nonsense that some of those other, groups, keep telling them that, there's some liberal Yoruba, some conservative. What is all that nonsense? We're talking about, the 1914 amalgamation. What has that got to do with the liberal and conservative? What we are saying is we don't want to be part of APC. We don't want to be part of PDP. Some might say we don't have the structure, to fight this battle. But I've just explained to you right there by the United UNPO that if the Nigerian government becomes harmful to the citizens, the international community will not have any reason than to deploy, the military to come and protect you. Do you understand what that means? Tíjọba Nàìjíríà bá gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tí kò jẹ́ kó gbé, àgbáyé máa deploy their own military to come and protect you. But nítorí pé ẹ̀yin fi fear sí, we're not telling you to go and destroy any buildings or take any arms, but as Yoruba people, we will defend ourselves. That is for sure. There's no doubt about that. If somebody wants to kill you, what do? Do you allow them to kill you? No, you're not going to sit down and look away until you're being killed. But if you're thinking that, when these things goes the other way around, then the Nigerian government will wipe off all the... do you think we're living in that era when, they came to do slave trade and they came to do the 1914? Even if the Nigerian government turn off all the internet, the world will still be able to respond because they know that there's a danger happening inside the country. For those of you that are struggling, let me give you the number of the Ilana website. The number again. Let's show you the number. Please take down that number, write it down, screenshot it, reach out to them in the morning. Somebody will respond to you. We need as many of 5,000 Yorubas to be part of them. Volunteer your time. Any time. If you can give them 1 hour, give them 1 hour. If you can give them a whole day, give them the expertise so that all these will complement the effort of every single one of us. So that is the number there again. Morimbe Yawa, all the way from Canada. A very good evening, good morning from here, good evening from your side. So those of you that are asking the number again, number Ilana UK, àwọn ni agbẹnusọ fún àwọn ìlànà Nigeria tí bàbá wa Professor Banji Akintoye. Does not mean we don't have all the other groups that are out there, but èyí tó represent gbogbo wa fi mọ̀ pé Yorùbá láti dá dúró, because all the other groups eventually pop up after Professor Akintoye came out and said, we took you down to UNPO, we are now moving out of Nigeria. None of the other groups had that initiative before. Yes, they have the groups now, they're all working hard, it's a good initiative they're making as well, but Ìlànà UK gangan òun ni representative Baba Akintoye tí gbogbo wa láti tẹ̀lé. Some might disagree with that. That is your own wahala. That is your own problem. I don't give a toss. That does not mean that we will not support, we will not appreciate all the other platforms as well. But if we really want to work together as one entity, we should start doing that now. If not, Omadigbas Buzni and Tobade Kondokon. If you don't have family really. So the support come and drive for silly, but there are problems to one here. Baba low. So if you think that when we say it's going to do Basbus, it means it can affect. It might affect gbogbo wa ni. Anytime wo mi no ma affect you, because things will not be as it is right now. But the beauty is we will then be moving out of this nonsense country called Nigeria. It has not been helpful for anybody. People work hard, they can't get their pension. So I want to think about pension. You that you have not even done any job. How do you get pension out of the country? They've sucked the blood of every Nigerian and people still want to keep Nigeria. Idiots. You're keeping the vision of Lugard. That's what you don't understand. If I can live here for 20 years and I'm still telling you that Nigeria is not going to work, you don't understand. 20 years I've lived in UK, still counting until we get our own nation. Some might say it's not going to happen in our own generation. I said, that's fine. We'll wait and see. But this is a year that is also very crucial to everybody, not just the Yoruba people. Even Nigerians are upset with the country. They're so upset. They're very, very upset. The inflation is going up. Do you remember when inflation? Bread to bara ni $1 leni. To ba ma fi dollar. O ti di $1. One naira 50. I don't know how they call their own money. That's stupid money there anyway. They are bara ni $100. To ba ma fi lo nisin lola. What's the go to the 150? You can't argue with the bread owner. So ma sọ pé o fe fún $100. No ma je se lára padà ni. So, but people are thinking that the reality is not going to kick in. It's going to kick in. It's already kicking in because 83 million of you back home today are people living in extreme poverty. Do you know what that means? So you think that we are the one that have the problem. For Ilana US, get in touch with me. I will send the number across. Any latic me. tàbá ní àfi join ẹgbẹ́ kankan akọ̀fin máa wo program ẹ bá kúrò lọ́dọ̀ mi ẹ lọ sí the next person ẹ dẹ̀ fi join group kankan then we are wasting time as well. We have to be part of the group. We have to be part of the process nìkan tá a fi gbà, and we need everybody to be on board. Mo like kí n máa join group o, mo like kí n máa join ẹgbẹ́ Koiki bí ṣe ń wọ yẹn ló dáa, okay that's fine. Èyí tèmi bá sọ nígbà ilẹ̀ máa mú nìyẹn because both ways ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe máa ṣiṣẹ́. We need everybody on board. And if you're part of those sitting down on a fake account thinking that you can get anything from here, you're wasting your time. We're not doing Netflix. But what we can tell Nigerians are, the country will hit you very soon. They're going to increase the petrol fee anytime soon. We're on the countdown, 24th of January. They're going to increase it from 165 naira. You're still struggling to even buy it at 165. And there'll be more ritual killing. So if money, tell your children to be very, very careful where they go to. People are very desperate to make money in Nigeria because Nigeria is biting a lot of people, and people are also oppressing each other with fake, illusion. So everybody wants to build a house. In UK, not everybody buy a house. As long as you have a house that you can live in, council flat, comfortable, that's more than enough. But in Nigeria, everybody wants to build a house because the rent is just unbearable. I can't post that image at all, not even show you. But if you go on Twitter, I believe that attack happened somewhere in the southeast. Wọ́n ṣàórí àwọn people yẹn àtọmọdé àtàgbàlagbà wọ́n ṣe wọ́n rán. These guys are not joking. This is where your country is when we talk about the data. Number 3, Iraq. Okay, kí ló dé tí tẹ̀ máa sọ pé Syria? It's Iraq and Afghanistan. Afghanistan is number 1 terrorized countries in the world, followed by number 2, Iraq. Number 3, that's your score sheet. Mo bá wọn kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní somewhere in Yoruba land during a meeting that they were having on a video call. Mo ní látijọ́ tó ti bí wọ òyìnbó mélòó ló wá ṣọlidé nínú community tó wà yẹn. I can't answer it. People think that because Nigerians come back home, that is it. No, that doesn't build your economy. Because àwọn yẹn kọ̀ wá sílé ni. What builds the economy? Wọ́n sọ fún wọn nígbà tí mo pè wọ́n. Mo ní látijọ́ tó ti bí wọ gbogbo wọn, there are about maybe 20 of them. I was on a video call with them, during their meeting. And I did ask them that ǹjẹ́ mo reason tí economy agbègbè yẹn tí kò ṣe ní àlàáfíà? Wọ́n náà wọ́n mọ̀. Mo ní tó bá jẹ́ pé òyìnbó 100,000 wọ́n wá sí community yẹn ní every month fún holiday, bí àwọn fi wá wo in tó wà ní agbègbè yẹn. I don't want to mention the local government because for the safety of our people on the ground there. I'm going to have to check to Australia yẹn pẹ̀lú àwọn bàbá Akintoye. Ẹ fún mi títí dọ̀la. But remind me, you can send an email, info@koikimedia.com, because sometimes I might not be able to pick the message in time. If I send WhatsApp and I might pick it in time. Ẹ kò sọ pé Australia group they need. So just pen an email to me and then I will pick it up and then I'll find out pẹ̀lú àwọn Professor Akintoye lọ́la. What I'm going to do is I expect to have, I'm going to speak to Showore, but I want the YouTube to be back so that we can have him where everybody cannot miss that. I'm going to speak to him. We're going to have him very soon. I haven't told him yet, but I'm going to speak to him. He's a very good brother of mine. I'm going to also be bringing very soon the coordinator of Canada, Ilano, and America so that they can come and talk to the people and let people participate. More busy. Look, I mean, even if you don't want to be part of the WhatsApp group for whatever reason, because I understand people get bored and not bored, people get so much messages and sometimes it could be frustrating. But for us to get a movement like this is a big movement. And all hands has to be on deck. Role kan lèmi ń play nísìn. Ẹ̀yin náà máa play role kan. So even if you don't want to be on the WhatsApp group, you can always tell the coordinator or the admin, ìjọ tó bá fẹ́ ṣe meeting, kó sọ fún yín. But the only thing is you'll be missing about information that might be going through the WhatsApp group. But sometimes those information might be relevant, sometimes they might not be relevant, but it's important that we become part of the group. I don't care whatever anybody is saying. If you're not part of the group, even if you're donating money to different people, to us, different platforms, and you're not part of the group, you're not a stakeholder. And we want everybody to be a stakeholder. That boy there is 11 years old. Don't more blocking. That means millions of Nigerians today have gone to bed with nothing to eat. Again, if you're going to email me, it's info@koikimedia.com. Very simple. You can also join the conversation should you want to. If otherwise, I'll just continue and I'll be flowing from one area to the other. But the most important thing we need to understand is, as of this morning, we believe that something is going wrong somewhere within that continent called Nigeria. But we're waiting to see if there will be anybody coming out to tell Nigerians about it. I don't have to say more than that. I greet everybody waiting inside the broadcast tonight or this morning, this afternoon. Those in Australia are already. What time is it in Australia, man? Time whatever I see. Probably somewhere around 9 o'clock, if I'm right, if not even 10. They are way ahead. That means this life, this life be like that. We must continue to educate our people. Some of them are confused, they are lost, and you can't blame them. And tó ń ta gúgúrú àtẹ̀pà lórí expressway ó wá ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ 1914 amalgamation lákàmọ́ pé kí ló ń bọ̀ wọ́n sọ ọmọ Nàìjíríà lòun mẹ́ bọ̀ kò mọ́ mí ní Nàìjíríà. So ẹ̀yin ìyá wa tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe APC PDP ní abroad, I have some of them. I even have a very close one. I just dey laugh. She wants to. I'm not going to give that location because if I give that location, it will blow straight away. She wants to contest somewhere as a senator. Contest. I just did laugh. Anika Daduro. Some Yoruba people won't contest. They won't become senator, House of Rep. And at the end of the day, they're not going to give them tickets. They know that. Amala politics and Kabu Kabu politics where they play for Nigeria. But we are just somebody that I think it's kind of that with election Batimbo, there's a kind of these vibes within the within Nigeria. Election. I saw what in Jando. This JTPS Friday when they were moving from APC to PDP. Irú yẹn nìkan ní síndó máa gbádùn gbogbo mẹ̀dùnmẹ́dùn. Ṣẹ́rí gbogbo àwọn tó ń pariwo tó kù yẹn. Sòfélà àwọn yẹn máa padà lọ sílé nísìn inú òru ló máa lọ sùn. Wọ́n níná. Tí àwọn wọn bá sọ pé ẹ̀gbẹ́ dùn báyìí lálẹ́, ó bá lọ nìyẹn kílẹ̀ tó mọ́. So for them, they love it that way anyway. But in reality, I was speaking to my cousin this afternoon or yesterday, and I said, Nigeria should have been better. And it would have been difficult for me now to be showing my kitchen, be showing you London, how to get out. You know, 24 hours light. Look, those watching from Nigeria now, watching with their phone, there's no light. Probably maybe few. Talk on generator. I do be at off one no. I'm on phone, one in to my 5 o'clock. I'm on Picasso bye. Boom, thank you very much. Your grace. I don't have any issues with any Yoruba people that are supporting these political parties. I don't have any problem with them. But what we are saying to them is, say politics in feel we must solve the situation in Nigeria. He said our mind, that man, that interview, that played online. The whole shenanigans has been going on for a very long time. Our military shitting on for a very long time. Remember, we were all in that military era. Nobody can say anything. If you say anything, you get picked up, get locked up. Your family don't even know where you are. People like, Professor Wale Soyinka ran away from Nigeria during Abacha regime. The man, he literally came back to Nigeria, now being recognized after Abacha died. So we have been suppressed. Not today. The injustice, the reason why we are able to see some of these injustices, like I call video me and I'll be asking myself, wow, there was a fire, you know what I mean? Pure water. There's fire, they are throwing pure water. It's just unbelievable. This one as well. I mean, people who have complained, have posted it on our page. These are terrorists. And they give it them to Amotekun. I don't understand. So I'm not going to say what I had in my mind, but I'm sure we're going to let more, and power. Sense will make me know. It doesn't add up. But the Spain, I'm gonna have to confirm. What I'll do is my key Professor my bounce or ni Benelola, my Professor Deniro, and they have to give me all the links of where all these Ilanos are, wherever they are in the world, their coordinators, so that I would reach out to them. I would then save their number and say Ilano Spain, Ilano Germany. And then if anybody, like we're doing programs now, it will be easy for me to just send a message. I'm going to work on that tomorrow. Am I worried? We should have that data anyway before, but that's why we need so many people on board. It's a big job what we're doing, and we're using our own platform 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'm a freelance, and that's why I can do this. Some other medias cannot do it because they have work to go and do. This is a job on its own for me, and I'm not regretting doing it because I know my name will be remembered for a very long time. 100 years added to my age, I won't be here. It doesn't matter. I'll be about 140 years old. So let's fight for it now. Let's defend it. Let's demand for it. America is not going to come and support us until things becomes where it is. UK is still locking us in. Australia, they probably will not do anything. But when things go haywire, people in Australia will start shouting. People in New Zealand will start shouting. And then they start mobilizing. The United Nations have their own military. In no time, they will deploy them to Nigeria. Start protecting the people, and then start telling us, what do we want? We want referendum. We want to be out of this messed country. I don't want to be on that passport anymore. It doesn't have any value. And that's why we are asking on a peaceful mission. But at the back of my head, that peace is something else entirely. Glory to me. Because I know it's going to be peaceful. And the beauty about it is, a lot of people are also saying, let's leave Biafra. We shouldn't get involved with the Biafra. And what I've always said is, the Biafrans will not have any reason to determine how we operate our own independent nation. It's not going to be possible. So why do you think they are threat? The Biafrans are pushing you people. That I receive those kind of messages and comments. Don't listen to them. They're the one pushing you. They are pushing you. And now they're starting, they will remove their leg. If they like, maybe they not go for their own. We will go for our own. They locked the whole borderline and left these people moving around. These guys are moving around with AK-47, AK-49, RPG. They even have mobile phone. Look at them. All this is happening in Nigeria. These are terrorists. When I say terrorists, these are the terrorists too. The Nigerian government closed their eyes as if they don't see them. Before this one can kill me, they would have to travel through the border, and then UK will be closing their eyes and allow them to come in with the guns. That means UK has compromised for my own safety here. But what about you? What about your own safety back home? That's what we are concerned. Look at them. They have mobile phone. There are some videos that we receive that we cannot upload it, we cannot show you, because it will look like, we are also helping them to deliver their message. I have a couple of videos, and I can't share that out. Their armories, you can't joke with it. Armories to Onilowo. Our Yoruba ń ṣerú pẹ̀lú terrorists. When I say Nigeria is number 3, this is the reason why. You can see them. They are so comfortable. And these guys are less than 30 years old. One-on-one, Yoruba máa ṣe wọ́n léṣe. But they have certain things, but the Yorubas are not stupid. I won't say more than that. They are being funded. You don't want to believe it? We have all the time. I'm not tired. When I'm tired, I go to bed.
That they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
What year are we now? 2022. Did you hear that from my mouth? He's dead now. Oh, you don't know. That man is gone. That was a bombshell revelation. May so rest in perfect peace, Dr. Late Malafia Obadia. He said one of the governors, the current governors, maybe it's Ganjude, maybe it's the one in Kaduna, maybe it's Katsina, maybe it's the one in Sokoto, maybe the one in Zamfara, maybe the one in Kebbi, Niger State, one of them. And they go put on agbada, shameless people. They go put on agbada, allow Nigerians to be deceived. They fund these guys. Each Okada táwọn gùn yẹn is different from the same Okada tó fi ń gbé àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ ń rí ní orí kí ló ń pè. Ṣẹ̀rọ àwọn Okada tí ẹ̀ ń rí ní tó ń gùn yẹn, they are more expensive than the normal kabu Okada. We are joking with terrorists. A guy flew from UK to America, went to the synagogue, hijacked people. He's a terrorist. And he's known to the MI5. How they even allowed him to fly out of UK to America is what they're still asking Joe Biden. Because he has a British passport. But how many people call themselves Nigerians are stuck up in UK all over the world looking for that same document they don't give them? And Britain is meant to be the one that colonizes us. Do you understand the suffering that we're going through? We should not even be asked to come and apply for a visa. On a normal thing, Britain should not tell Nigerians to apply for visa to come to this country. With the amount of suffering they've done for us. For stupid people all over the place, telling themselves I'm a true Nigerian. And then you go and apply for UK visa, they deny you. You know the people they deny you, 23, 24 years old, they just no. And they probably give the Hausas, the Northerners, that have stolen the wealth, that has good bank account with billions, millions of naira. The Obama no get account, but they go look for people account to join together, go submit application. They verify. Does he own this account? Bank manager say no, this account does not belong to him. Bam, 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 zero. We should not be part of those to suffer. But because of our negligence, we've all kept quiet for a very long time, including myself. But now, that is the time that people are saying, Yoruba look. At 1 o'clock, we're going to bring the program to an end. I'm asking the question again. Is there something we don't know that has happened in Nigeria? We wait and see if we get an answer. Let us remain focused. Don't let them tell you that it is not possible. Nobody should tell you that. Make it possible. Thank you very much, Jakolo Shala. So we're just about 10 minutes away before tonight's program ends. I will be back again strong tomorrow. And hopefully, maybe the information minister will say something, or maybe they don't say anything and we leave it like that. We wait and see. The Yorubas must not be fed up of this movement. You must not be tired of this movement. We must work hard to make sure that this dream becomes actualized. If we fail, we all fail. But I know we're not going to fail. The Fulani cannot defeat us. Thank you very much, everyone that have joined us. Fulani only defeat her. But we must not allow anybody to convince you and say, we have people now that are getting convinced. We are Kajeki Tinubu Debe no. But Debe, Afun Alaye. Go to my president. Akpashe Ode. Idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. He's playing with fire. They told him he's playing with fire. But when I was up on Manoton, MK will not do better. MK Abiola spent millions of naira. He was never given that opportunity. Once again, we hope, maybe not, somebody will tell us something that has happened inside Nigeria. And if they don't tell us, we leave it like that. All right, let's start winding down. I appreciate everyone this night. I appreciate you all, from Badagry to Ekpe to Oshodi to Agege to Mushin. I don't have problems with people they call Agbero because they have no clue why they're in that situation. But the politicians are purposely doing the evil on our people. The politicians are making life difficult for our people. The politicians are not more than less than probably 5,000 when you calculate every one of them, each in a state. Those governors believe because they have the security, they are so powerful, nobody can touch them. No problem. But when the time comes, Nigerians will revolt and they will ask questions. And I'll be here to help them to escalate it using my media. I'm just waiting. It's just a matter of time. I will be here. If I have to sleep on the broadcast 24 hours, when the time comes, I will be here to help them to spread the message. Because then they will need help. Maybe we could have done more for the NSAS rather than wait until they were killed. This time around, we will not allow them to be killed. We will all come out wherever we are around the world so that those at home will not be wiped off by the evil genius of the Yoruba politicians, the other ethnic politicians that believe they own Nigeria. We will be here. So don't worry. Relax. You have people that will come out to make sure that you do not get wiped off on the surface of the earth. I say thank you very much to those of you that have made it with us tonight. We couldn't have done it without you. And we continue to appreciate every single person tonight. Nigerians, we are not one. We can never be one. And the best option now is to demand a full referendum to opt out of that contraction called Nigeria. Once again, we must not be fooled that the country will change. We must not be fooled that Nigeria will be great. We must not be fooled by any international community that the changes that Nigerians want will happen after the 2023 general election. It has always been a selection. APC, PDP, they're all a bunch of liars. And they're ready to suck the blood of Nigerians if you don't let us end it peacefully. They don't care how many people die. We must continue to ask questions. The breaking news: US advised its citizens against traveling to Russia. There's tension between Russia and Ukraine. That might lead to a war. The world is very, very imbalanced. You might wake up one morning and hear the news of war break out. Hell loose. All over the world. There's a lot of problem. Russia is not backing down. Americans are not backing down. NATO is not backing down. So as I speak to you right now, I'm just picking up from the AFP. If you have people in Russia, let's just all pray that things don't go the other way around. So Americans is advising all its citizens against traveling to Russia. Still about 26 minutes ago. Chief Sunday Igboho has and is not a criminal. He's been held in Benin Republic. A very good night to you all. And I'll be back again tomorrow as usual. We love you on this platform. And it is no retreat, no surrender. Our full support continue to go with all the self-determination platform, be it any one of them, including our father, Professor Banji Akintoye. If anyone doesn't be the last man standing, I will be the last man standing for Chief Sunday Igboho Adeyemo Igboho Osha. I've told him that so many times, and I still repeat that. Last man standing. And I'm ready for him 24/7. I've told him that, and I continue to say that. And Niri Jubailo, Odaro, Oranyo Lamasun, Ile Gongon, Loma Funi, heart attack.
Let's go. For the island of black. Navy blue check. Yakama. 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 That's it.
Gàǹkọ́jọ́ ibi gíga gàǹkóṣù. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, iwájú iwájú lójúkùn ń gbé. Òkè níjọ́, òkè lẹ́yìn fún òkè. Ìran ọmọ Yorùbá ọlọ́pọlọ pípé. Ọ̀mọ̀wé ń bẹ, àgbẹ̀ ń bẹ, iṣẹ́ ọnà ń bẹ, kákó ni mọ́ra. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni. Kákọ́lélé, káyé ní sí. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni. Ká sọ̀rọ̀ tútù tó yọbi lápò. Ọmọ Yorùbá ló ní. Òwe ìbáwí. Ọmọ Yorùbá ló pa. Òwe ìkìlọ̀. Ọmọ Yorùbá ló pa. Òwe ìwúrí. Ọmọ Yorùbá ló pa. Bọ́rọ̀ bá sọnù. Òwe là fi wá. Àkàlò èdè ń kọ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá ló lò. Ibi gíga. Ibi gíga gíga lọ́mọ Yorùbá yóò máa lọ. Ibi gíga gíga lẹ́sìn máa rọ́mọ Yorùbá. Ibi gíga gíga lẹ́sìn máa rọ́mọ tuntun wá. Ẹ ò ní rí wa nílé ẹgbẹ́, ẹ ò ní rí wa lẹ́yìn. Ibi gíga lọ́mọ Yorùbá yóò máa lọ. Adéwálé fún wa ibi gíga.
She said,